The gaming world is full of heroes, but we need some bad guys too. And even though the antagonist often tends to be a guy, there are some serious female villains out there. That's why we've made this list of 10 very memorable female boss fights in video games. And spoiler warning, of course.
You're the first humans to ever desecrate this palace with your presence.
It's her.
Queen Myrrah is the ultimate leader of the Locust Horde. During the entire Gears of War trilogy, she was the brains behind all the attacks. She pledged to have the Locust Horde come out of the war victorious. But her efforts were in vain. In the final battle on Azura, she kept coming back, even when the Hammer of Dawn was deployed against her. After 3 games of fighting her and her Locust Horde, you finally get to kill the Queen, ending the amazing first Gears of War trilogy.
Feel that? That's from Dom.
Please. No! No! She wasn't bad.
Sometimes boss fights are memorable because they're amazing, and other times because they're ridiculous. The latter is definitely the case with the fight against the psychopathic police officer Hilde in Dead Rising 3. Her overly sexual tone and lust for murder sure makes her one of the weirdest bosses we've ever encountered.
Give him a break, boy!
The fight itself is very mediocre, as it's all about chasing her, killing zombies, and pumping her full of bullets. The highlights of it are all the interactions between Hilde and the main character, Nick. He's obviously freaked out by this woman as much as we were.
Size doesn't matter! Big boy!
She makes a couple of bad jokes right before she dies. Now that's a woman we can get behind.
That's not fair. I finished first.
Teresa. Bayonetta. Time is of the essence. This can wait no longer.
Even though Diane ended up being an ally of Bayonetta, her role as an antagonist in the first game sure is memorable. She's an Umbra witch herself, putting her skills on the same level as our heroine Bayonetta. The most memorable thing about it is that she keeps coming back, over and over again. She even tricks death once, and after your last battle, she still doesn't die. Quite early in Final Fantasy XV, you're infiltrating a base where you mix stealth, combat, and platforming. The fights at this level are pretty tough, and when you think your mission is done, this female boss attacks you out of nowhere.
Let's see what you can do.
What follows is a fight that's extremely versatile. You need to manage your group of heroes, dodging her long range and area of effect attacks. The fight moves all over the base and even goes vertical. Highwind certainly makes a lasting impression as one of the first amazing bosses of the game, and it does help that she looks very badass as well.
Quitting time. Sorry, but this girl doesn't work after hours. I could, but there wouldn't be a single gill in it for me.
Resident Evil Revelations brought back the horror elements that were missing in the 5th and 6th installments. In Resident Evil Revelations, you play as Jill Valentine, trying to find Rachel. But you're too late, because when you find her, she turns into a zombie.
Oh shit!
Jill, what's wrong?
I found the target, but she's a zombie.
What happens next is a super interesting fight with lots of hide-and-seek elements. You take her down over and over again, but she keeps coming back. Rachel Foley is a very creepy antagonist, and the fact that she keeps coming back makes her one of the more annoying additions to this list. One of the most classic stories in video games must be the one of the damsel in distress. Paper Mario on the GameCube was all about that, until the Shadow Queen broke free from the evil Supreme Leader Grotus. As it turns out, Grotus is not the final boss of the game, but the resurrected Shadow Queen is. She uses Peach's body as a vessel and tries to defeat Mario and his team herself. This evil version of Princess Peach makes for an amazing plot twist and delivers one hell of a fight. The Shadow Queen definitely deserves her spot on the list. The fact that you were playing as a girl all along was a huge surprise in the original Metroid. But the biggest, baddest final boss in both Metroid and Super Metroid was also a woman. Mother Brain. Well, physically you can't really tell, but this gigantic mastermind with spikes coming from her brain actually is a she. Mother Brain controls every single enemy you have been facing in the entire game. The final fight is one of epic proportions, and everybody who finishes one of these classic Metroid games will surely remember that for years to come.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
Most of the time, evil bosses are very serious, but GLaDOS makes us chuckle all the time. Her presence in both Portal and Portal 2 is one of the greatest elements of the series. She's annoying and hilarious, and even though she has us trapped inside her experiments, we actually started to love her a little bit.
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to break so far is my heart.
She isn't a destroyer of planets, but an artificial intelligence that's perhaps one of the best characters gaming has ever produced. And sure, she tried to kill us all the time in the first game, but she helped us in the sequel. So we guess that makes us equal.
Kill it! It's evil!
The Metal Gear series is home to one of the toughest women ever in the history of video games. The boss is the final boss in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Throughout the game, Naked Snake, who used to be her student, repeatedly encounters her as he was ordered by his superiors to kill her. Her sense of duty is remarkable, and therefore, her words in the final battle are even more touching.
Let's make this the greatest 10 minutes of our lives, Jack.
Boss?
You're a soldier. Finish your mission.
She has fulfilled her mission and died after one last fight with her apprentice Snake. Without a doubt, this is one of the more touching battles in gaming.
There's only room for one boss and one snake.
Sarah Louise Kerrigan was born human, but later became the leader of Zerg. She now seeks dominance over the galaxy. Kerrigan has been an inspirational villain since the StarCraft series launched 17 years ago. We want to refer to StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty for this entry.
I knew you'd find your way here. Eventually.
In the first chapter of StarCraft 2 Trilogy, you play as the Terran army, who need to stop the Zerg from destroying everything. You get to battle against the Queen of Blades and her army. In the end, you defeat the Zerg, but Jim Raynor allows his former lover to survive, and the story continues with the Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void.
Sarah.
These are 10 very memorable female boss fights in gaming. Which of these ladies did you like best? Let us know in the comments or on social media. You can find us both on Twitter and on Facebook. Now stay tuned because we're going to give you some suggestions for more videos to watch. Have fun!
So it really was Rachel.
At the end, I'd wish for it.